Gravy, baby.
What's up, my little gravy babies, little biscuit bitches, little ladles and gravy accoutrement? We got no Drew today, just me and Deej. So you know we're gonna be laughing.
Yeah.
Papa's not here to regulate us.
Yeah. Yeah. We've already been into it this morning. Man, that mate called me a bad name.
What? What did
Very
he say?
sad. Very sad. Yeah. He's mean sometimes.
He's
Let me tell you,
moody. He's a moody
He's a
man.
moody, mean man. He is.
What happened? Well, because sometimes we do like to get a rise out of him, you know, and then when he gets mad, it's adorable. But what happened? Can you tell us, or would he be mad if you told us?
Oh no! I mean, we're just riveted, but we were just talking about. Well, I did some. Y'all might want to sit down, audience members. Y'all might want to sit down. 'Cause I don't know if you guys are gonna like this or not. But me and the homie Slob, all hail Slob.
Mm-hmm.
We went into
Slobber Hose?
investigating. Huh?
Slobber
Yeah,
Hose?
Slobber Hose.
Oh shit!
We've been doing some we do a lot of investigation. We went in on wavy gravy.
Oh shit!
And yeah. You know, here's the thing. I'm not gonna get into that. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't great. I'm gonna tell you that.
Oh no! We wanted him to be so cool. God damn it! Isn't it like everything else? Fuck! This is the Olympics all over again. I learned something that I thought was cool is awful, and then they wonder why our generation's so depressed. Everything we thought was cool ends up being awful.
I know, man. I know, dude. And that's what's so crazy. I found out that, they paid Snoop $500K a day. A day. NBC is paying him $500,000 a day. So, I get the propaganda machine wants to show America as this multicultural, cool, hip, accepting, and America was just like, no. No, we're going to.
Yeah.
We are going
Snoop's not going to be able to make up for the last decade. I'm sorry.
No. And every chance we get, that's weird. I don't like that. That's offending me. That's the outrage machine. Just, we like regular stuff. Make it regular. What is that, a blue man? It's been my whole time just Americans show, not just Americans, but a big part of Americans just manufacturing outrage the entire time, just being the biggest bigoted pieces of shit. God, dude, it's so true, dude. That fucking, but I don't think most Americans realize that, at least 80% of the world, the bigger part of the world, sees us as a bunch of just warmongering fascists. 100%, this whole neoliberal rules-based order is right out of Mussolini's. What did he say? For my friends, everything, and for my enemies, the law. That's exactly how the world sees us, man.
I'll never forget years ago, and this was in the Bush era. I remember the first time, or it might have been the second time, but the first time I was an adult that I went over to my cousins in Spain. I went to see my cousins, and they were like, does everybody there eat steak and own a gun? And I was like, is that, I was like, oh shit, is that how everybody else sees us? God damn. That was my first instance of oh, I think there might be a different perception of our country. Otherwise, and for me, dude, that's what it's been. It's and I think we've talked about this before, but the balls to think that once everything falls, everyone's just going to welcome our refugees with open arms is wild. Is wild. That's why I've been trying to travel now and getting good while I can, so that I could be quote unquote one of the good ones. You know what I mean? But I also think about the end of the world the same way that I think Floridians are about hurricanes. There's going to be plenty of them that are just going to be out there in the middle of a shitstorm holding onto a stop sign like, no, it's my country.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that it's nuts. But so you got to at least give me the cliff notes for the wavy gravy thing. What did we find out so people aren't misinformed?
Well, look, man, it's like, he's got some like weird Scientology stuff and like white
gotcha.
supremacist stuff in his past, and like, man, that doesn't mean that the dude didn't do good. Do some good things that help some good people, and he might have changed. You know what I'm saying? But
I do love a comeback story. I do love I think when I was a little kid, because my dad immigrated here from Cuba, and he was way more conservative. So I think maybe when I was like a preteen or something like that, I think I thought that like Republicans were right, only because that's what I had heard, before I started learning on my own. So I mean, I changed pretty quick though. Once I learned, once you get outdoors and you can start reading on your own, I swapped sides pretty quickly. But I still, for the longest time though, I used to stay registered Republican so I could fuck with their primary, if that makes sense.
It does.
Especially because Florida, the what's it called, is such a swing state. I used to be like, okay, well, how do I fuck up there? I mean, whatever. It probably didn't make much of a difference, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, so go ahead. So you found out but he's got some fucked up shit in his past. He could have been a good dude anyways, but we just don't know, is what you're saying.
Man, I'm saying the whole thing, and this is what I was telling. This is what Drew got mad at me about.
Yeah.
Is that like the whole idea of that acid, the hippie thing is so, to me personally, counter-revolutionary. Like, I don't see it. Like, once again, look, man, either way you want to put it, Timothy Leary was 100%. This guy was an FBI informant. He told on Black Panthers that him and Ram Dass, when he was Richard Albert, they got their money and drugs from the CIA. Not only that, but like to praise these people is like they left their family. They abandoned their children to go have acid orgies with like teenage runaways. Like,
when you put it like that, yeah, it is a really enlightening experience. Yeah, I really think it is. But I don't think the movement necessarily is that, because if you think about it, that was also like a big rebellion from the 50s. That was a very incredibly conservative time. So if you think about people like thinking about things, and this is also like, this is the first time at that time our country, it's easy now to go be like, that was bullshit. But right. But I think that, honestly, this goes back to the Olympics thing. I think everybody was genuinely like, oh, this is how it's really supposed to be. We're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be love whoever we want. Like, that's the first time I think we have a rebellion, a social rebellion where people genuinely feel like they have a say, besides the Industrial Revolution, obviously. But that was also different. That was run by businesses, not by individuals. So,
right. There's also a big part of this that it created a lot of weird nationalism, a lot of weird patriotism, like and also colonialism. It's this weird
because we got Vietnam, right? So you got everybody rebelling there too. But that was also anti-government more than pro.
Well, not so much that. I'm talking mainly about. See, that was a different thing. Like the anti-Vietnam movement, that whole thing is a separate thing. Whereas the acid hippiness of that was just kind of like, in that movement was kind of just what would you call it? Like window dressing. That's just what it looked like. That was the art. And you know what I'm saying? But the movement itself. And there's questions about whether the weathermen and all these people, these revolutionaries, but But the reason why I say that hippie movement, especially with Timothy Leary and the acid movement, was such a counter revolutionary movement. Not just the fact that they were like informing on people, but like the fact that this whole dropout, this like tune in, like drop out, like tune into yourself and like drop out of society, and like it created a type of apathy. You know what I'm saying? And a type of just a non-movement against what should have been highly, like, you know, it's so weird. Like, it's just it's so weird to have people like Tucker Carlson, come out. Do you know what I'm saying? Come out of that. Like these people had a huge influence on Silicon Valley and venture capitalists, and like you know, it all moved into like, you know, into that type of thing.
You don't think that could have just been opportunistic? Where where they were just capitalizing on something? You think it was calculated?
I don't. I think that the movement went where I don't think anything was calculated. I think MK Ultra started in the CIA and the army bases and stuff like that, and then moved on to prisoners and stuff like that. Then it moved into Stanford, and then you have all those guys, Ken Casey, fucking Allen Ginsberg, Timothy Lee, all these people signing up for MK Ultra, and then moving this into the fields where you had the you know, the whole acid test, electric cooling acid, that was all funded by the CIA. I mean, and they were like, look how we you know, we got all their drugs and then, you know, started this revolution. But like, did you? Did you? I mean, a lot of cool art and stuff came out of it, I guess. But like, have you seen 2024? Like, what impact did you make? Again, you know that. You know, Dick Cheney's a huge fan. You know, fucking Tucker Carlson's a huge fan. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. But I think it's also one of those things where like you can find good in it. You can find good in the things that these people say. But I think we've mythologized and we've mystified this thing to be something that it's not. I don't think necessarily anything is ever like planned as in, okay, we're going to do step A and then we're going to do step B or anything like that. I think that there's no way to get out of the influence of like banks, money, capitalism, the movement.
That and then you add technology into it, because that's I mean without that we don't get to here. We don't get to here without that, because that's a huge part of it. So I think then the money shifted from experimenting on people to like, oh, well, why don't we put all of this money into this technology and making that bigger? And then that was easy. That was an easier avenue, I think, to control people than than drugs. Yeah.
I mean, I totally believe that MK Ultra is still ongoing today in the internet. I think people are. You know what I'm saying? I think that these experiments are still going on the internet, and the way we socialize on the internet. There's ways like I totally believe that. But again, and also saying this again, like that doesn't say that nothing good came out of it, or nothing, that there's nothing to be had out of it.
Sure.
I think the problem is that we make too big of celebrity stuff and people, as you know what I'm saying, and culture and the thing, and like that, you know, we don't spend as much energy on community as we do on our own community. That's like right there, an everyday community that we do, valuing this myth. It's like the Mothman, you know what I'm saying? They come in, there's this thing that happened. They give you one little part of it, and they blend, they make a lot out of it, but they leave everything that's crucial to it, you know what I'm saying, out of the story, and just create this myth that's supposed to be some sort of, I don't know. I don't know. There's no good or bad. It's just what is and what is happening. And I also think that being aware of propaganda is like super important. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's just like, I think that's part of the reason why we're harder to market to, if that makes sense. Is because you after it's kind. I always compared it to stand up as like once you learn how all of the tricks of stand up, it's harder for stand up to trick you into laughing. You have to be genuinely surprised, and we are barely ever surprised now. We're just like, oh, you're gonna do that move again? Oh, okay. Well, I guess now somebody will be tricked by that, but I won't be, And and so that's always the part that's disappointing. Is a lot of times, people will take these angles, and it's just more distraction as well. Like just the you know what I'm talking about. Not things that are based in reality, but like the flat earth and stuff like that, like the real far-fetched things that you could be like, this is all a lie. Everything's a lie. I think you could go too far the other way too, where now you're like, you don't even believe in truth anymore.
Yeah.
So,
totally. No. I totally agree.
Yeah. And that's always disappointing too, because that to me just sounds like an idiot who is trying to sound smart.
Yeah.
In that finding the truth is like, I'm certain you could splice enough YouTube footage of something to create a thing and then share it with a bunch of people who don't want to believe anything's real. And then now you have a working theory, as opposed to like, something that actually, MK Ultra fucking happened. That's different.
Yeah. It's only like, there's all kind of different MKs too. There was an MK Search. There was there's all kind of MKs. So, like the government definitely, like they do this. They do experiments. Mm-hmm. They drug people. They fuck shit up.
Yeah.
There's look how many fucking look in the music business, even in rap, dude. In rap, it's so crazy. Like how many snitches and informants and fucking how many like pedophiles and like rapists and like crazy shit goes on in the rap game. Like you would never guess it, but like MC Hammer, and then at the same time, MC Hammer is one of the most feared gangster motherfuckers.
Gangster, dude. Or it was like me. It's so funny you brought that up. Me and Bobby were fucking making fun of him yesterday. I was like, "You think he wore these baggy pants because he had like a fucking Tomb Raider gat strapped against his thighs, and he just wore the big pants so nobody knew he was fucking always because he don't have no pockets, and he always had that fucking crop top too." So I was like, that dude was fucking feared by everyone. Like I remember there was like one story where they were all out at some point and somebody popped off in the club or some shit like that, and everybody just kind of looked to MC, and MC handled the fucking whole situation. Yeah. And everybody was just like, oh, the too legit to quit guy? I had no idea.
So crazy. It's so crazy.
Too legit. Pew pew.
What? Like the dude with the magic shoes and the fucking cartoon. Like that cartoon on the keyboard. Like that dude is like feared. Like Suge Knight wouldn't fuck with him. Mm-hmm. That is feared.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. It's so crazy.
And my like childhood memory of him is like the goofy man that did the
yeah,
like a silly
family.
dancing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's probably fucking he's probably murked someone. I was trying to think of the number.
Oh
for
yeah.
It.
Oh
What's
yeah.
the number for murder?
187.
187. There you go. But yeah, I mean, I was laughing so hard. I was like, dude, I bet you had those fucking Lara Croft Tomb Raider just guns strapped to him. That's why he was wearing those big ass pants with to hide his weapons.
Yeah, he's got 2 missile launchers on those goddamn shoulder cannons.
He just presses a button. Like he's the real 007. He presses a button and 2 missiles shoot out the side.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That would be so sick.
Crazy. Yeah. So it's like, dude, it's like once you get inside, like, well, on the outside looking in, like they can make anything. It's magic. Hollywood is magic. They make anything. Entertainment, dude. They make anything. Anyone, anything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just you gotta be aware. I didn't find this. This is a cool little fact for y'all at home. So Courtney Love's dad was was one of the roommates of the bassist for the Grateful Dead back when they were the Warlocks and when they were the Grateful Dead too. But he managed them. He was a manager, and he also reportedly used to do all kind of weird experiments on Courtney Love, like dosing her up and putting her in her playpen with like pit bulls and shit.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah, massive piece of shit. He only wrote two books in his life. One was about being on the road with the Grateful Dead. The other one was about how Courtney killed Kurt.
Jesus Christ. One of these things. Actually, I would say one of these things is related to the other.
So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, don't it? You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, you have this child that was all dosed up on, does drugs her whole life, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Wow. Let's just say that guy knows how to capitalize on a situation. He sees a shot and he takes it in the worst way possible.
In the worst way. So crazy.
That would be like Frankenstein writing a book about what a monster Frankenstein is.
Like, can you imagine this motherfucker?
Frankenstein's monstrous. Yeah.
Another motherfucker that just abandoned his kid after fucking torturing her. He's in that blanket. I know she's fucked up. Is she, dude?
You don't think? I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, like I don't think she killed Kurt, but like I do think that this is my newest conspiracy that I'm on, is that Matthew Perry, the guy from Friends, was killed by the smiley face killer.
By the smiley face killer?
Yeah, you know the smiley face killer.
Well, how? What makes you say that? What makes you think it was him or her?
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back with more.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back with more information, but that's what I'm on right now. That's what I'm figuring out. That's what I'll tell y'all. That's a little peek inside my investigative prowess.
Wait, if you have a serial killer, somebody with a moniker like that, why wouldn't they would want the credit?
No, smiley face killer.
Mm-mm.
He basically he does all kind of different types of killing, a lot of poisoning, a lot of stuff like that, like overdosing people. But he has done other types of killing, and he's in Hollywood, Malibu, and stuff like that. And he takes pictures of people smiling.
After they're dead?
I'm not there yet. Yeah, after they're dead. And one of Matthew Perry's last pictures was just him in a hot tub, smiling in there. It says something, I forgot what it said, but he could have been serious. He could have been a victim of a serial killer. He's supposed to be sober and all this, and it's hard to believe. It's not hard to believe that somebody could overdose and relapse, but it is kind of hard to believe that he did.
Yeah, because he was about it. Because there's speaking of cults, the AA out here is different than any other place in the world I've ever seen it. It hits different, and people are very cultish about it. And I'm not against the program by any means. It's helped millions of people get sober and stuff like that, but it's there is a weird cultness about it here. People are very precious about it, and I don't know. It's strange.
That sounds like something that's very LA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That sounds like something that sounds very LA, like it's a thing. It's a thing that you have to go through. It's a thing, especially in that environment where it's everywhere and those things are everywhere. It's a big step, and especially, I wouldn't say with everyone, but if you're anywhere near the, trying to do anything.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's
the other thing too. Then it's then people help each other within the program and stuff like that. So there's that element. The same it just gave me the same vibe that when I first got here, Scientology gave me. Just the way they did things was just like, oh, okay, weird. I don't know, man. But sometimes people use that shit as just, I mean, I think we've talked about that before too. Maybe not. I don't know. Now I don't remember. But just about like being like, oh, I'm sober, so I'm done. The work's done. And then there's just a bunch of awful dry drunks.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that happens a bunch, man. People get all kind of fucking crazy about it, like, and they try to like steer you away from like, cause like I'm clean and sober. Of course, I don't live around my old friends, but even when I was clean, I would still go see my friends and like, people are crazy like that. People are like, oh, you know, fucking to say shit like, oh well, you know, your friends that did drugs, like they're still doing drugs. They're not your friends. They were never your friends. I'm like, buddy, those are your best friends. Those are your best friends. I don't know one of my sober friends. I can just kick open the door at 2 o'clock in the morning, piss on myself, fall on there. You know what I'm saying? Fall on the clock, and then just be like, oh, okay, yeah. None of my sober friends, none of my sober friends would ever forgive me.
I would get you, DJ. I mean, I'm not sober, but I'm also.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. So your fucked up friends are your best friends.
Yeah.
those are the friends.
But there's also that's also, I think, from an understanding. Either an understanding and an empathy because they've either been there or close to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like my Drew was saying, like you've seen the people that you're willing to see super fucked up or willing to let them see you fucked up. And you know, it comes to a point where you share a bond that's like it's it's beyond a normal friendship. It's
And maybe that's it. There's that on the getting sober side with how sometimes it's an insurmountable feat. Maybe that's the connection too. It's just I'm going by how my fucking ADHD fucking spidey senses. That's what I go by. And sometimes it's just fucking weird. It's weird. And again, not like the program I've seen anywhere else. So I don't know. But maybe that's just out here. I'm definitely for people getting their lives together though.
When I was in it was just I couldn't stand it. You know what I'm saying? But that was in the South, and I'm sure it wasn't like that at all. It was everybody trying to want. This is just my particular experience. I'm sure not every single group is like that, but in my experience, it was a bunch of people trying to one-up each other, but also like blame a lot of the shit on everything else. Like some people are you're just shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're shitty. Like the alcohol didn't make you do that, dude. No.
Yeah, the alcohol just made you feel better about being shitty. That's all it was. That's all it did. Was satiate you going, having fun after the time you should have been feeling guilty. Of course, I mean, like that's all symptoms of it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the whole selfishness and you becoming a burden on everyone and not having a clue on, or starting to figure out ways to what's it called? To put yourself in a position where somebody could be at your beck and call like that. But yeah. It's all derives from that, and either narcissism is selfish. Everybody says narcissist now, but I mean it's definitely not just the booze. But yeah, do you remember? Oh my God, do you remember Paul Hooper? Did you ever work with Hoop? At the Catch?
That sounds so familiar.
Short, white dude. I swear to God, if he wasn't white at 25, his hair, like, he maybe he was blondish, but he was always super dark humor. He used to have this bit how he would make fun of people who got sober using AA because he didn't. and like shame them. And he was like, he had a New York apartment that was right above a church where they would meet. And he goes, and I would look down at them literally and figuratively as I didn't drink or didn't do. He's like, I didn't have to go to a church basement and sit around a circle and be like, oh, and it was so, I'd never heard anybody go after people getting sober before. And it ripped so hard. I laughed so fucking hard. Because he was like, I did it without it. But it was also a way of him being selfish about getting sober. And it just made me laugh so hard. It was something so self-aware. Oh, shit. It was so hilarious. But I thought maybe you worked with him. Because I remember he used to work to the Catch. So I thought maybe you worked with him.
I feel like I remember the name, but like, people can start coming in and out, and fucking.
Yeah. Back then, you would have worked with him when he was drunk for sure. He was off the wagon. I didn't really start hanging out with him until after he got sober, just timing wise, not because of a thing I cared about. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, yeah, dude, there is something about sobriety and achievements.
And maybe it goes back to what you're saying, the community element of it. Maybe it's just the community thing.
Yeah, it's weird that we don't value community more. Like it's all about self. And that's another thing about, the whole, there is an element of community to it, to the whole hippie acid thing. But like, it's all weird God stuff and looking into yourself and like, and not that there isn't something about that. I don't know, man. I had to give it some more thought before I just talk shit, but like, definitely I mean, you've met boomers, right? Like,
but they did not look within. That's what I'm saying. They could have, they should have been the one of all to capitalize on that movement.
Yeah, like, how did you become so like the just all about capitalism and buying stuff and like wrapping yourself in the flag and being patriotic and like, it's so crazy, like this new America and like this is like being.
I think that's more of them reverting back to their childhood. If you think about it, because that's also when that was also in vogue. Post World War II. So you got the 50s and 60s. Everybody's super pro America. And then you get the resurgence of that in the Desert Storm era, when everything was like, when people cared about where things were made, the Made in America era.
Oh man,
you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, dude. Yeah. So there was like another resurgence of it.
Operation Desert Storm on it. Oh my God.
But the shirt's made in Taiwan. Yeah, dude, but there was like another resurgence of that. So I think it feels to me like every time society shifts, there's like a pullback towards that. And I do think in the Obama era, there was a shift away from like being overly patriotic and more so like more German, if you will, more humility and everything. And then, of course, we have 9/11, and then so you get another resurgence of that, and then it fades off, and then there's always just something that brings us back to it. And Snoop Dogg at the Olympics ain't gonna do it.
Y'all wasted that money. Shit, God damn, dude. Oh, dude. That shit where it's like, so shitty, dude.
I wonder who thought that up.
I mean, it was a good idea if we weren't who we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it wasn't like we were just going to be mad at everything the entire time, like, not even, like, it's so crazy. And again, and people started pointing this out. It was like, we're not mad that a fucking dude that raped a fucking 12-year-old's doing it. That we're weird because we're mad because this lady looks different. She looks different. Well, I like it. There's a blue man on there. I like stuff that's regular. Put regular stuff on my TV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That should be the platform Trump's actually running on, is make America regular again.
Regular haircut, regular job,
Yeah.
regular gas in the car, regular. We're going regular, y'all.
We
Not always.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All this what?
No,
No.
I just thinking about how this news thing about how everybody's talking about how weird they are, which they are, obviously. They're fucking weird. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But like, everything's so fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like JD Vance, like the crazy thing about him is like he's a spook. You know what I'm saying? He's 100% out of Stanford, fucking CIA, backed by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel wants to take prisoners and like hook them up to AI during their prison sentence to have them like in the Matrix during their fucking in prison inside. Probably
Is that going to
farming,
rehabilitate
whatever.
him? Having them not even in touch with reality at all?
Yeah. And,
Interesting
he's got a
choice.
blood boy too. He's also the blood boy.
Oh, that's
person.
right.
So, like, they're weird on several fucking levels. That whole.
Where's my blood bag? Come here, son. Dude, that was so fucking weird.
Dude, it's so crazy, dude. It's so crazy. They're so
and
crazy.
I believe it
dude.
because the amount of brainwashing you would have to do to make your child believe they were just good enough to give you their blood, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, man. Oh God, dude.
That guy is pro manipulation in any way he can get it.
And like the adrenochrome, folks, they ain't got nothing to say about them. They ain't got nothing to say about blood boys. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here.
That's cool because they're on their side. That's cool. It's cool because they're on their side.
So that's why it's bizarre. That shit's bizarre.
But are you talking about people like as individuals being like, I'm so weird, I'm so kooky? That I think a lot of that came from the keep insert city here weird movement. That was like a low.
What happened to that now?
Social.
Is that a weird that being bad?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Is there now? There's negative connotations to weird now.
we can't have that.
No. Every time we're like, this is our thing. We're weird. We agreed to it. Now it's like weird means you're a pedophile. I don't know. He's weird. Okay. Well.
Oh fuck!
I just meant I buy a lot of incense and got a tapestry on my wall. Now, weird means you touch kids.
Smell my bloodstone.
Yeah.
Get off me, man.
That's gonna be the new one. Is give me back weird again.
Yeah, give me back weird. Yeah, make America weird again. Not weird like y'all though. It is weird, but it's I don't know. It's everybody's fucking weird though, dude. It's like everybody fucking. I'm weird. Everybody's
I think
weird.
a lot of it though is post pandemic of people got weirder and weirder in a way like when you get cooped up for long enough. It's just kind of like people who've been alone for a really long time. They have a hard time getting in a relationship with someone else because they've got accustomed to being incredibly strange because nobody's there to check them. That's why I think a little bit of shame is good when somebody's going, why the fuck are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a little bit of good that comes out of, I should look at myself and realize that maybe what I'm doing might be strange, if you're at home sacrificing chickens or something, but because it makes the groceries cheaper somehow.
People to your house and being like, "Don't touch my stuff." You're moving all the stuff.
And obviously I'm talking about outside of OCD. That also you also need help with that as well. It's a disorder.
Yeah.
But that's how you figure that shit out is other people. So yeah, I do.
Yeah.
There is something to the always look within and stuff like that, where I think it's both. I think you should look within, and I think you should also look to a community of people that aren't, that aren't weirder. Because that's the other thing too. I think a lot of times people will seek out people that are stranger to hide their own weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people
I
did
think
that.
it also has to be
Go ahead. It also has to be what?
living people. Like online communities are fine, but that's a good way to get trapped into a fucking, not just an echo chamber, but like, again, I totally feel like that's part of it.
I think that's more of an illusion of community than actual. Because if with an online community, and listen, I'm not shitting on them. Join the Discord. I'm on board. I'm for it. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And we can have a community. What is it? The irony. Oh yes. Thank you. Producer Mark's making fun of me. I called it out myself, Mark. Anyways, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you need to have your own community of human beings that you can interact with in real life, because the online communities, albeit there's plenty of, and it's really great for a bunch of people from different places to be able to come together. But I also think that it's only to a certain point that you get that. Then I think it becomes an illusion of community. Then you don't think that you have to participate in an actual physical community because you have this illusion of one. So then your social skills, because you can be disingenuous with who you are. You can be dishonest.
Oh yeah, totally.
You can catfish. I mean, that's happened in groups of people that I've known online. We find out one of them is a piece of shit, and this whole time they've been acting like somebody else, and it's harder to do that in real life. That's why they always ask the neighbor, oh, he was cool, he seemed really great. Okay, because you only passively know that guy,
Yeah.
You don't know that guy.
Yeah. It's so weird.
So
it's
I think to hide who you really are, it's harder to do in a physical community than an online one.
Absolutely. Which is great, because like we have to mirror. That's the way that we like learn and socialize and like and grow and evolve, is like through authentic human, mirroring of society. And I think that's what's one of the weird things is like, what we somehow try to mimic and mirror these things, like what our culture hold to a certain standard, or like what is celebrity culture. And I think that's what goes back to like the whole wavy gravy, whatever thing. It's like we mythologize everything, and we try to hold ourselves to the standard, to this thing that's just, it's not real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily, or at least not the whole story. You know what I mean? And now you're either trying to compare yourself, and especially when you get into like comparing yourself financially or something to someone and feeling bad about it or something like that, or like what is popular,
right?
Like, what does this society value? What are the values of us? And if you're taking these on, like, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
Well, for me, a lot of times it's just like when they talk about like unrealistic beauty standards or an unrealistic for example, you were talking shit about Deadpool or whatever, right? And for instance, Hugh Jackman preparing for that role, because they had to show him shredded and all this other shit. It was like a big deal, and it was 6 months of him starving himself, and then 3 days of like serious dehydration for him to be able to pull that off, right? And they don't tell you any of that shit. You're just supposed to look like that. And I think the same thing happens financially, where no, he was set up to be this successful. This wasn't built it himself, like in all of those stories, like everybody likes to start him for the bottom. Now we're here, but nobody likes to talk about where their quote unquote bottom was, which was not, which was nowhere near the bottom. Their bottom is a top for most people, you know. So I think that's like it creates unrealistic expectations, like you're talking about, and it's just in several different ways.
Yeah, and like and trying to mirror that instead of mirroring what your community here values, your community at work values, your community, your neighborhood values, the people you love, your one of the things, even it's so crazy, like.
But that, I think, helped. What helped with that in tearing that apart was when Trump became in office, and then when people were like, "I'm never talking to my family again," all that other shit. Instead of, because the real tolerance is sitting down and having a conversation with that person and trying to change hearts and minds, and that's way harder. It's way harder than to cut somebody off over and over and over again. And granted, I mean, I've had several of those conversations, and it's difficult and it's heartbreaking, and it's fucking like, how can you be this stupid when I come from you, and when we're related, and it's, and at a certain point, I think that's when you start seeing that, people in your own community are capable of being brainwashed, and that's always disappointing. But having that said, I feel like that was kind of what was a wedge to push this even further, to keep people as like in their homes, individuals not talking to each other, because then you can't form a union of some kind. You can't all rebel against, because there's no group, there's no you know what I mean, there's no sense of community there that keeps you into believing that you're powerful.
Yeah, man. And that's a crazy thing, man. That's a scary thing, especially for the left, I think, a lot more than it is for the right.
Yes.
Because
that's what I mean. Yeah.
It's it feels quite like, okay.
Because the right's got the rally. The right's got the rally, and people show up for the rally. Yeah. So
yeah.
And
it's still so much.
Yeah.
It's not so much to know, like, okay, well, we're gonna have to go out here, we're gonna have to protest, things like, COSA, the Kids Online Safety Act, the criminalization of homelessness. Like, at some point in time, like, this is very much affecting queer youth at a high rate, and just keep human beings, not even just, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is bad. Like at some point in time, there's gonna have to be a standing up. There's gonna have to be a standing up to these things. Like, we realize now we're in a situation where we have a lot of people. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. It seems bad.
Well, did you think the end of the world was gonna be good? I'm just saying,
No, but I've seriously been taken aback by how many people are willing to steer right, and it even makes you feel even that much more alone. And it's crazy.
Well, I think going back to what you were saying, I think that's part of the allure of it. The same reason that, like, kids with no friends join gangs, and the same reason it's just a place where they can fit in. It's a place that they can be, feel like they're part of something. And when when the left, like, cannibalizes itself and it segregates each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I've said it before, I'll say it over again. Al Franken can fucking smell my goddamn hair anytime, or whatever the fuck weird thing he did. They wanted him out of there so fast, and it was only because he was genuinely like starting to make a difference. I don't know.
Hey, dude, it's like this. Everybody, like, I see a bunch of libs online, like, dude, fuck Tim Walz, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, who do you want? Like, that's like, do we not want any progressive people here?
It's almost like they want the perfect Marvel movie. It's never going to be the way it is in your imagination.
No. And like they want to push this anti-Semitism thing about Josh Shapiro, but you tell me the difference between a man who's pushing for school vouchers, amongst other things, and a man who is like signing free lunch for all kids in school, fucking doing things for, you know, the dude, it's night and day. It's got nothing to do. I mean, it does, but like it's got nothing to do. It's got nothing to do with the dude sucks. Like why? What? Mark Kelly sucks. Okay, he went to space, but that doesn't mean he sucks. He sucks, dude. Tim Long is rad, dude. He's so rad. Like Wi-Fi. And at some point in time, we gotta fucking lift sanctions, guys. That's the only way we're gonna fix the border crisis and not having all these immigrants come in. As if we gotta stop fucking up their countries, dude. We gotta. You know what? Tougher border policies. Like, how about not fuck up these countries?
Yeah, how about get your nose out everybody's business?
Yeah, dude, that's the answer. I mean, why are we still putting kids in jail? It doesn't make any sense, y'all. It don't make no sense. Like,
all right, you got to give me something positive. You got to give me something you feel gravy about. Something good.
I feel good. That well, the stock market crashed and my stocks remain the same.
All right, I need something positive from you, DJ. What makes you feel good? Well, the stock market crashed.
Didn't affect my stocks. I fucking slid right through it. Not affected. Dude, jam up. I feel good. I didn't even know what happened. I was on I said, damn. Lucky me. Once again, y'all can't say enough about bankruptcy. These things, these trivial matters.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. You're just so unapologetically yourself, and I love you so much for it. What do you got stocks in? What wasn't affected by it? Tell the people.
Oh, I don't got stocks in everything. I have no stocks in everything. Zero. Zero stocks in all of it. I got eggplant stocks. We got growing eggplant. Eggplant, when it comes out of trade and fucking eggplant and fucking watermelon, goddamn. I will. They ain't gonna know what to do. I don't know what a fucking Arby's beef and cheese is, an eggplant, but I'm sure.
I love that in this dystopian future we're trading goods, but Arby's still exists. Come on, man. I know you got some of that gray meat in there. Let me get some of that gray meat on that onion roll. Come on.
Get a fucking ride a fucking donkey up to goddamn Arby's with a basket full of eggplant.
Oh, Jesus. That hits for me.
Yeah.
Also, just the idea of like the end of the world hasn't happened, but they're already acting like it is. You just go into our are we trading for? You come in with a pack of seeds for vegetables.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the seeds documentary? Everything is gonna matter. Everything's gonna your value in seeds. Oh my God! We're just showing up to a fucking McDonald's. Going into the Pals because you want a good burger, right? Going into a Pals with a pack of cucumber seeds. Hey, man, what can I get for these?
In a bag of good soil. Right.
Oh, what's the one? Oh, I got a cow and it likes to shit. You want some of that action? You want some of that?
Yeah. Training manure.
Yeah. Back to the Future didn't know it. They were talking shit about me or then.
Yeah.
In the future,
Yeah.
that's gold, baby.
Oh yeah.
That convertible's
yeah.
only worth what it can hold in manure.
That's so cool. I can't wait. I can't, I can't wait to get there.
Mm.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
Realizing my potato gun will be a lot more than it'd be just cost me an arm and a leg to fill up ammunition.
Oh yeah.
Potatoes.
Yeah, that's a whole season's worth of potatoes to arm it. People get hit by them and then they just pick up the potato and run.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Pull 'em out of
Thank you.
So crazy.
The family's like, we're so sorry for your loss. Are you gonna eat that?
What animals? Wait. Okay. Let's say
Okay.
the shit does go down.
Right.
Shit
Okay.
does go down. Everything. What animals? Like, what's going to be the next like king of this? Oh, who's going to rule? Who's going to be? It will be the apes. Will it be the snakes? Was it the roaches? The insects? Will the insects fucking?
Well, which kind?
Cool.
Which kind of end are we talking about? I mean, if it's like nuclear, obviously roaches. Those things are fucking, you know. Yeah. What do you mean? If just society falls, if there is an animal that comes on top.
Yeah. Will it be birds?
I think you're gonna see. Yeah, I mean, because we don't really have. We kind of made sure there's not any fucking apex predators here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that. Maybe dogs.
Maybe.
Massive rowing packs of dogs.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get those anyway, just because everybody has pets for them. If they don't get eaten, you know, at some point they might have to get eaten. But, and that's the other thing too, is a lot of the apex predators that are near us are like close to extinct. Like all the wolves, like we were a very wolf rich area, and now those guys. But I mean, there's an effort being to bring back the population. But I think it would be something like that.
Does the wolf population explode because we can't? Something like that.
People aren't hunting them anymore. Yeah. So I think that, plus they're meat eaters. But other than that, like we don't have lions here. We don't have. I mean, maybe things that are escaped from the zoo, but they're so used to being. I mean, if they get hungry enough, I imagine their animal instincts kick in. But.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not certain. But I think wolves is a safe bet, just because they already were here originally.
Bears,
yeah.
but
even I don't know that they go, because I don't think they like how human tastes. So I don't know that they rule. I think they still just want to eat their berries and their salmon. Yeah.
Right. You're right. And there'd definitely be more of a population of if society falls and we're not polluting as much, the salmon population spawns
comes back.
We don't get moved. Yeah. If we go back,
everything comes back. Yeah. So I think we just get more. You get more bears and more wolvies. And then maybe the bison bounced back pretty good. Even with the bison burger, I guess it's just not large enough of a population to sustain something like that. But I think it's just you get more animals. Period. But I don't think any of them really rule, because again, there's not like a big. We don't really have a big monster here.
We just don't, do we?
Mm-mm.
Crazy.
Well, do you have a hot take? What do you think?
I think wolves is a good bet. The wolf, I guess, like if we're back down to like tribally hunting, they try to imagine this thing falling and like us not having medical care. A lot of people getting sick. You know what I'm saying? The population dying out. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Well,
you know,
especially with with everything that we have, as so much of our food that we have is poisoned. Like, I think that's gonna wean a lot of people out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. The stock market crashed. You're so funny. That's it. That's all the time we got today. No more positive toxicity for us. We hope you will laugh with us till the end of the earth.
Yeah.
And as much shit as I talked about online versus regular communities, please join both. Be part of a community in your actual community and join the Discord. It's really nice in there. I like it. People all chatting and sharing shit, and it's adorable. And join the Patreon, patreon.com/gravybabypod. It is Thursday, August 8th, tomorrow, and Saturday I will be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Laughing Tap. And then next week, 2 weeks, I'll be in Madison, Wisconsin at Comedy on State. And then after that, I will be in Janesville, Wisconsin, October 25 and 26. And then a week before that, October 18, 19, I will be in St. Paul. And the week before that, Rochester, Minnesota, where the Mayo Clinic is. If you are in any of those places or know people in those places, please tell them to come see me. And thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,